Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review and install of the Barricade Extreme Heavy Duty Brush Guard, available for your 2015 and newer F-150. In this review, I'm going to touch on what the Barricade is going to offer for your truck in regards to functionality and styling. We'll talk about the construction the Barricade is going to deliver, and then finally we'll briefly cover the installation. And with this piece here, you're not looking at any cutting or permanent modification, but some of the bolts can be a little tricky to access without removing other parts like your grille, for instance. So that is going to bump the install up for me to a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, in addition to this thing just weighing a ton, but we will have some more detail on the install later in the video. Plain and simple, if you're a 2015 and newer F-150 owner and you're looking for the most protection for the front end of your truck while spending the least amount of money in the process, the Barricade Extreme Heavy Duty Brush Guard might just be your best bet on the site. Now, brush guards are obviously a great way to add a bunch of protection for the front end of your truck, but the Barricade option takes that a step further by adding these included bars and punch plate up here, more specifically to protect the front end or the grille area. This is going to be great if you do subject your truck to a lot of off-road use, a lot of job site use, or if you just happen to plow through a deer or zombie on your way home from work. The Barricade is going to help you out, and it's going to look very aggressive while doing so. Now, Barricade is a relatively new and upcoming company in the aftermarket truck world, and what I can tell you in a nutshell is that they produce everything from armor, like this brush guard we have here, to tonneau covers, and everything in between, and a lot of their stuff is very budget friendly when it comes to price. And the Extreme Heavy Duty Brush Guard that we do have here fits the bill. Low to mid $400 price point, making it one of the most affordable in the category. But if this thing is just a little too heavy duty for you, or maybe a little too hardcore for you, I should point out that Barricade does make a slightly toned down version for the 15 and newer trucks for less money that you can find here on the site as well. But let's first talk about the construction, and from just moving this thing around the shop here with my buddy Stan, I can tell you it's as solid as it comes, guys. Heavy duty 2-inch mild steel tubing for the main support bars here. Obviously some smaller bars all around. Everything's finished off in a satin black powder coat. It does look really appealing here in the shop. Now again, they do take this a step further with the punch steel center plate and the support bars, adding a ton of protection for the grille and radiator area, something that I really like. And again, if you're looking for all-out max protection, this is a great option. The entire brush guard is backed by Barricade's 3-year warranty, which does add a little peace of mind as well if you ever run into any issues. How about the functionality? Well, as you might imagine, this one is pretty cut and dry, right? I mean, a brush guard is the most hardcore way to protect the entire front end of your truck from whatever might get in your way. Maybe some trees or obstacles off-road, obstacles on-road, maybe a wayward shopping cart in a parking lot, whatever it may be, this thing will help keep the front end of your truck and even the headlight area here free of any dents and looking good for years to come. And I really just can't stress that enough, guys. This is gonna be the best way to bulletproof the entire front end of your truck. We talked about the 2-inch mild steel tubing throughout, but the 2 vertical supports here, the main supports, these guys are as burly as they come. Again, mild steel and almost 8 inches thick at certain points here. Just a very rock solid part. And also the headlight area, we talked about that as well. You are getting some protection for the front fender and headlight area, but a good thing to point out too with this thing is that it shouldn't affect any of your light output with your F-150. And speaking of light output, I've seen a few people get creative with this particular brush guard when it comes to mounting auxiliary lighting. Again, if you do a lot of off-roading or if you spend a lot of time on the dark work site, this is another great option for you. I've seen a lot of people utilize this middle bar here, but you can use the bottom one, the middle one, the top one, whatever you want to do. Light bars, cubes, spotlights, whatever. And the best part is you won't have to drill any brackets or holes into your actual truck by utilizing the brush guard instead. Finally, on the functionality tip here, this top bar, and this one might be a little bit of a stretch, but it is certainly worth pointing out in my opinion. I think this is going to act almost as a bug deflector or rock deflector for the angled portion of your 2015 and newer F-150's hood. I have a 2015. I know this portion of the hood has taken a lot of abuse. I've seen some rock chips, and though you're not getting a ton of coverage here, at least it looks that way, it's still better than having nothing at all. So functionality aside, what about appearance? Well, I will say there are gonna be some people out there who don't give a damn about functionality. When it comes to a brush guard, they just want something that's gonna add a tough look to their truck. And if that does sound like you, well, look at this thing, right? I mean, it's definitely a zombie apocalypse type of brush guard if I've ever seen one. So if you're not really into the whole functionality thing, you just wanna add something that's gonna really toughen up the front end of your truck, this will certainly fit the bill. And appearance aside, there are some things I do really dig about the Barricade from a design aspect, mainly how well it hugs the front end of the truck when installed. Now, some other options out there tend to stick out a little further from the front end, looking a little goofy in my opinion. Not the case here at the Barricade, and some of our side shots will hopefully show that for you guys. There's not really a lot of dead space between the front end of your truck and the actual brush guard itself. Again, hugs the front end, just makes for a more custom look. In addition to that, let's get back to that price, right? I mean, mid to low $400 price point for all of this, which to me seems like a very good deal. And again, one of the best on the site when you're looking for all-out protection. But let's switch gears and talk about the install here with the Barricade. And as I pointed out at the very top of this video, guys, you're gonna be looking at 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, in my opinion, based on 2 factors alone. Now, the actual install itself really isn't terrible, but this thing weighs a ton. It's big. There's a lot of stuff to muscle around, so an extra set of hands will certainly be necessary for this job. In addition to that, you're looking at a basic socket set, maybe a few open-ended wrenches. Ratcheting will certainly be helpful, in addition to a panel removal tool or a flathead screwdriver to help you pop that front cover off the front bumper to gain access to the bolts. First and foremost, you're gonna wanna remove that factory grille. I know it seems a little silly, but it will be necessary in order to get this thing installed properly. You'll also need to remove that front bumper, of course, along with the tow hooks, because those 2 bolt holes per each tow hook will be used to mount the included brackets that are coming along with the Barricade option. Once those lower brackets are in place in the tow hook area, you can go ahead and switch your focus to the upper brackets. These will be installed behind the front bumper in the grille area. So now you know why you have to remove that front grille, and you will be using the included hardware again with the Barricade option. With the lower and upper brackets in place, now's the time to grab your buddy and get the brush guard in place itself. Now, you'll want to secure this thing to those 4 brackets, again, using the included hardware. It's just going to be a little tricky to line it up at first, but once you get everything in place, tighten up the hardware, and that's really it. Again, it's not a difficult job, but it's the stuff that you have to remove in order to gain access to the brackets that can stretch the install out a little bit. So I'm calling it 2 out of 3 wrenches, again, on the difficulty meter because of that and the overall weight of this thing. And overall, you're looking at maybe an hour or 2 in the garage or shop before the brush guard is in place. I love the Barricade Extreme Heavy Duty Brush Guard for the simple fact that, again, you're getting the most protection for the least amount of money. This thing's built very well, it fits the front end great on the newer F150s, and it's not gonna tax your wallet in the process. So that is my review of the Barricade Brush Guard, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.